Hello everybody on YouTube, this is Super Nintendo and welcome back to another episode of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon HD. In the last episode, we managed to get to the top of the haunted towers and defeat another possessor ghost and take back another burp in the middle of recording. No, another Dark Moon piece and open our way to another mansion. But we are not going to that new mansion, for we have a hostile intrusion to deal with. Let's do this. Luigi, I'm afraid I have what we, in the certain elite scientific circles, call bad news. Remember when the Gloomy Manor had some unexpected visitors? No, I don't mean the spiders. Keep your shirt on, Sonny. I'm talking about those ghosts that came out of nowhere. Well, this time the paranormal signals are seem stronger. So we better play it safe and send you in to investigate. As usual, I'll be watching your progress and guiding you from here. Look lively. Luigi, I've marked the locations of the ghosts on your map. Okay, for this one, we're gonna be doing this. So in this particular type of mission, the ghosts being I feel like the 3DS version has a bit of an advantage over the Switch version because in the Switch version you have your full map access to you basically at all times, whereas in this one, even if you have the mini-map, you're at a bit of a disadvantage because of the fact that your mini-map doesn't really show you very much, and you have to pull up the entire freaking map. I think that it is kind of dumb, the way that they have this, unfortunately. But, I mean, it's not a huge deal, it just means you have to pull up your map. Like, it's not a massive deal, but... I mean, it is a bit more inconvenient. No. Damn it. Yeah, that is what happens if you get dragged around by the ghosts too much. They can drag you around and make you lose some coins and stuff, and you'll take damage. It's not a super common thing for it to happen, but it can occasionally happen. Goddamn gobbler! Nope. Ow. Fuck you, Greenie. Come over here. Nope. See, like, I mentioned this in one of the previous videos, but I feel like even though the goobs in Luigi's Mansion 3 are very similar to the greenies, the goobs themselves never really seem like much of a threat. They almost never actually try to attack you. Whereas the greenies do. They will, on occasion, actually hit you, and they are kind of a pain to deal with on occasion. Okay. Alright, so the best way would be to go this way. The goobs hardly ever actually attack you, from my experience, whereas the greenies, their wind-up is deceptively fast. They can hit you, particularly when you're busy dealing with other ghosts. Whereas the goobs hardly ever attack you at all. There we go. Some more ghosts. Let's grab ourselves a golden bone. The golden bone does actually contribute to your money total. I believe it is worth 200 G, if I'm not mistaken. I forget if I said that in a previous episode or not. Knowing me, I probably did. First floor. Okay. We can't go that way. Whee! I actually do kind of like these missions, especially with how... I've never been on the opposite side of that door. Wow. I have never seen the door open that way. Another thing with the ghosts in this game is the slammers will occasionally get me too. That shockwave effect that they have is deceptively... It has quite a bit of range, and it's easy to forget how much range it has.
Oh yeah.
Alright, is that all of them? Nope, we got one more door. And all the greenies have had shovels. What the hell? Come on. Stop yanking me around. Alright.
Oh, yellow.
That's the last of them, Luigi. Hopefully you did it fast enough so we don't have to get into another event like this anytime soon. Come on back now.
Oh yes. Ho, ho. I did it. What? Ho, ho. Hey, hey.
Another gold rank. I'm legitimately not even trying to get the gold ranks. Like, for this Let's Play, I'm not even really trying to get them. I'm just that good.
Oh, I, wow.
I knew I could count on you, Luigi. Good job. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you're starting to enjoy this gig. Yep, beneath that fragile, quivering exterior lies a daring thrill seeker with a heart of gold.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Spectral mass update, and we got some more treasure. Anywho, where were we? Yes, ghosts. Always with the ghosts. What I still don't understand is where all these ghosts are coming from. The periscope doesn't detect them until they're here, so I can't trace their origin. Well, they're gone now, so let's get back to our quest. that'll do it for the Haunted Towers, but since this episode is running a bit on the short side, how about we have another round of taking a look at the Ghosts in the Vault, and me complaining about Luigi's Mansion 3. No, this one I'm actually not going to be complaining a little bit about Luigi's Mansion 3. If anything, I'm going to be defending it a little bit. But first, I want to talk about the new ghost that we found. The Sneaker. These ghosts are swift and cunning. They love to turn invisible and sneak up behind their targets of their pranks. So use the dark light device to catch them in the act. Or not use the dark light device and in fact just use the full strobe bulb, because a good chunk of the time you'll find not just one but 2 or 3 of them by doing this. And the Creeper. Creeper. These gooey ghosts just love to cuddle, so they'll never want to let you go. But after the dark moon broke apart, they forgot about the cuddling part. Watch out for them on floors and ceilings. Sister Lucinda, the youngest of the fabled 3 sisters. Her hobbies include playing with her mirror and annoying her older sisters by pointing out their many flaws. Sister Belinda, one of the fabled 3 sisters. According to her sister Herlinda, she's the eldest of the 3. She is an expert on flowers, plants, and loves gardening. The sister Herlinda, one of the fabled 3 sisters. According to her sister Belinda, she's the eldest of the 3. Her hobbies include comparing herself to flowers and looking in the mirror. So, my personal theory is that Herlinda is actually the oldest of the 3, and Belinda is the middle child. But, anyway. Harsh Possessor. This possessor was hiding at the top of the giant tree in the Haunted Towers. He possessed a wooden staircase, of all things, and tried to eat Luigi. I thought he was going to faint. And last but not least, the Gold Greenie. These greedy greenies traded their slimy bodies for ones made of molten gold. Can't say I blame them. So, something I would like to talk about is something that I kind of already talked about in my first Luigi's Mansion Let's Play, but the ghosts of this game. A lot of people love to say that the ghosts of this game pale in comparison to the ghosts of the first game, saying things like the ghosts of the first game were a lot more creepy or scary, as opposed to this game's ghosts, which are a bit more on the cartoony and silly side. All I have to say is, what fucking game are you people playing? Legitimately, what game are you people playing? Because the ghosts of Luigi's Mansion 1 were not scary. None of them were. They may have been portrayed as though they were a bit more creepy, but I think that comes down to more of the first game's atmosphere. Which, don't get me wrong, I love the first game's atmosphere. Luigi's Mansion 1 is my favorite in the trilogy, after all. But when you look at the majority of ghosts in the first game, they're all just as cartoony as this. Like, they're all just as cartoony. What exactly is... Like, the Golden Ghosts are just as cartoony in terms of their design and the way that they're characterized as the Greenies. The only difference is that the Greenies have more personality. They're a bit more mischievous little guys who will, like, play pranks on you and have fun and stuff like that. That's it. That is it. The Garbage Pail Ghosts, they're just as cartoony as the Slammers in terms of their design. Which, again, it really comes down to their design, because how they're handled is very different. But in terms of their actual design, which is why, which is something that a lot of people really criticize Dark Moon for, they're just as cartoony as this. I really do not see that as a good criticism, because it just flat out does not work. Because of the whole, like, they're just as cartoony. Like, I don't know. Even the ghosts in Luigi's Mansion 3 are just as cartoony as this. But a lot of people like the ghosts in Luigi's Mansion 3. They never seem to complain about how the ghosts in 3 are more cartoony and less scary than the ones in the first game. Which, they're just as cartoony. So it really does just kind of come out of the woodwork. It just kind of communicates to me that the people who hate on Dark Moon just really have like this vitriolic hatred of Dark Moon for some reason. And like, when it comes to Dark Moon, the main criticism of the game comes down to the mission structure. A lot of people hate the mission structure of this game. That's really what it comes down to. That they like exploring these various mansions, and they like exploring the mansions, but you're only playing through them for like 10-15 minutes before you're pulled away by Egat. And like, okay, fair enough in that regard. But are you forgetting this game came out on the 3DS? Like, this game originally came out on the 3DS, on a handheld console. They needed to make the game in such a way that you can play through a mission or two and have a good stopping point, because of the fact that it's a handheld game. Even the games on the Switch are designed like this. This is why Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, even Luigi's Mansion 3 are designed like this. Like Luigi's Mansion 3, the floors are designed pretty much the same way as the missions in this game. Each floor only lasts like 20 minutes. When you know what you're doing, they only last like 20 minutes, and then you're on to the next floor. You're not exploring these various areas all that well, all that much compared to some other things. And another thing is that when it comes to the linearity argument that a lot of people like to say, because they always like to say, like, you always feel like you're exploring a mansion. Dark Moon and Luigi's Mansion 3 are just as linear as the first game. The first game, you get a key, it only opens a specific door, you go to that door, you deal with whatever threat is there, you get another key, and you go to the next door and repeat the process. It's just as linear. It is just as linear. So I really just do not get the vitriolic hatred for Dark Moon. I just don't get it. It feels to me like people expected Dark Moon to be something else. That's what it kind of feels to me like. It feels to me like people had major nostalgia glasses for the first game, thinking that it was way scarier, way spookier, and whatever than it actually was. So then when Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon came out, and they saw that the game was very goofy, very whatever, and that it was mission-based because it was on a handheld console, people just had massive hatred, a massive vitriolic hatred for it. And I just don't get it. It just does not seem all that fair. The hatred for Dark Moon that I see online is the same type of hatred that I see people have for Sonic Adventure DX. or Sonic Adventure 2. Except, unlike the Sonic Adventure games,
containing the ultimate power,
which have like a very vocal fan base that I am also a big part of,
Now I know.
I never see people praise Dark Moon hardly ever. It is the black sheep of the Luigi's Mansion series, and I just do not get it. I do not get it. I criticize Luigi's Mansion 3 a lot more, but even that game, I don't hate it. I have a lot of very persistent critiques, but that comes down to, I don't hate the game. You know? I'm more disappointed with Luigi's Mansion 3 than anything else, but it's not a bad game. It's just my least favorite of the trilogy, as I've said before. But I think that will do it for this episode. Next time on Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon HD, we are going to go to the old clockworks. This factory once produced the world's finest clocks and time measurement devices. Your watch probably comes from here and you don't even know it. Next time on Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon HD, we are going to make a timely entrance. Good news, Luigi, I've located the next Dark Moon piece. It's at the top of the clock tower. All you gotta do is mosey on up there and grab it. What could go wrong? See you guys then.
Ascend the sinking square window!